Hey Lovebug, if you happen to be new here, my name is Marcia Yvonne and my channel is all about being the intersection between faith, fashion, and fragrance. So if that is your vibe, consider joining the Lovebug tribe. So getting into today's video, we are talking how to be frugally fragrance, right? That is all things affordable, fragrance, smell good. How do we smell good while balling on a budget, right? So I have to shout out Wonderful Makes by Danielle. This video was actually inspired by a conversation that I was having with her where we just talked about how expensive fragrance can be, and sometimes people are on a budget and don't really have that type of money to drop, and so really looking for more affordable options. And so if you want to know how to smell good while balling on a budget, then go ahead, grab your snacky snack, sit back, relax, and let's chat. The first tip to being frugally fragranced is starting small. Do not be afraid to start small. And when I'm saying start small, I'm talking about your sample sizes, your travel sizes, your discovery kits. Do not be afraid to start small. This is my sample sizes. I don't have a lot of sample sizes, but this is the case that I use to keep all of my samples in. And discovery kits are honestly my favorite way to explore a brand, to really see what kind of fragrances do they put out. Do I like the way these brands make fragrances, and am I interested in really investing any more money in them? And so it allows me to really get a bit of variety from the brand and see what do they do. Are they more, some brands are more warm and woody. They like very complex fragrances. Some brands like very sweet and fresh fragrances. Some brands love variety, and so they love to give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So really having that time to explore the brand and see what I like. And I love samples and discovery kits for that fact. But I also love travel sizes. Now, some people are against travel sizes. They don't like travel sizes. They're anti-travel size. They would love to just drop a bag on a full-size bottle, blind buy, and go about their business. I am not that girl. And honestly, I have to shout out a Sephora worker. She was a young lady that worked at my local Sephora, and I was in shopping for fragrance, and she ultimately was like, you know, you don't have to buy a big fragrance. Like, you can buy travel sizes and really explore from there. And that really was like mind-boggling to me, because I'm like, that is so true. And oftentimes for the price of a travel size, you can get 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 travel sizes for the price of what you would spend on one single bottle of fragrance. So it really allowed me versatility. Now, if you do care, all of the containers that you will see are purchased from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be honest. All of the containers that I use to store my fragrances and body care and things that sort are from Dollar Tree. I have not purchased anything from anywhere else. So if you are wondering, that's how I know. And I have about, I think, three or 4 of these that hold all of my travel sizes, and they stand on my bookcase behind me. So this is definitely something that you can always consider. Be able to start small, and it really opens you up to the opportunity to have variety. And typically a sample size is typically like a 2 ml. On average, you will find most travel sizes are in a 10 ml. You can find some as small like a 7 and some as large as like a 15, but on average they are typically a 10 ml. So it gives you the opportunity to really play with the fragrance and see how much you love it. I use my travel sizes to determine whether or not I want to purchase a larger size bottle. So I would definitely say keep that in consideration. I will always vouch for starting small between a sample size or a travel size. Next tip is explore perfume oils. I love perfume oils. Now, if you are not familiar and if you're new to fragrances, a fragrance consists of a perfume oil and oftentimes alcohol. Some brands may use, if they want to be more clean, they may use water, but that is typically how you get your fragrance. And so getting a straight perfume oil is knocking out the water, knocking out the alcohol, and getting just that fragrance. Now, I personally get all of my fragrance oils from the Hesto, and you gotta go to the Hesto where they look like us, okay? They gotta look like me or darker, okay? I'm telling you, you gotta go. If you gotta go to the Hesto where you gonna get the braided hair, where you gonna get some lip gloss, where you might even get some belts and some shoes, you gotta go to them type of Hestos, because you're probably gonna find these. Now, you will have to probably shop around locally to really be able to identify which store in your area has the best price, because I know for my area, I purchased mine for $3 and some change, where I know other stores in my area charge $5 for the same size. So you would have to really decide. Now, I'm going to highlight specifically this brand. This Have a Scent collection can be found at a lot of hair stores as well as online. So if you are okay with shopping online, then you can also choose them and just really shop. You can find some local, find you an oil lady, find you an oil man, somebody that make these perfume oils, and try them out. Of course, you need to know that you like the way that they do the oils, because it may not always be an exact to the actual fragrance. So I do want to say keep that in mind. Some of the perfume oils that I have, I love better than the fragrance, and some I love the fragrance more, but it's a great layering option to have the perfume oil. So it really just depends. And some of them are literally spot on. They are tie for tie, neck for neck. They twins, they identical, can't really tell them apart. So it really just depends, but I would definitely say try a perfume oil because it allows a better wearing experience for the option of performance, longevity, sillage, oftentimes just getting straight oil. If you're okay with having oils in your regimen, perfume oils are definitely going to be your best bet. I would definitely say consider a perfume oil if you want to be frugally fragranced. So the next tip is shop low-end department stores. When I'm saying low-end department stores, I'm talking about your Target, your Walmart, your CVS, your Walgreens. Don't be afraid to shop them stores. Now, I know for some people are boycotting places like Target. I do understand that. So I would definitely say keep that in mind. But those low-end fragrance stores allow you to get fragrances oftentimes at a better, more affordable price. Sometimes they have brands that you cannot find anywhere else, like Target. Target has brands that you oftentimes cannot find anywhere else, or you can't find the variety of that brand anywhere else. So I would definitely say consider that if you are okay with still shopping at Target. But then Walmart also carries a lot of celebrity fragrances. In Walgreens, I've seen designer fragrances for a discounted price. So it really just be open to explore and try. I am going to highlight a couple of brands. Now, I'm gonna say this. Target was a way in which I built my collection. I did a lot of shopping at Target. I bought a lot of fragrance from Target. And so I do feel like I have to kind of mention that because it is a great way to get really, really good fragrance for a very affordable price, right? And so I am going to highlight Mix Bar. I have a total of 6 Mix Bar fragrances. I'm not going to hold them all up because I don't want to break them. But you will see typically this is the standard packaging for the EDP. This is a 1.7 fluid ounce. This is priced at $20. They do have a fragrance mist that is, I believe, $10. I only get the EDP, so I can't really speak to anything else. But Mix Bar, you can find these at some other stores, but oftentimes I have not seen the diversity of the fragrance line in other stores or online, so I would definitely say keep that in mind. So next up is Finery. You can try to find this somewhere else online in other stores, but I don't oftentimes see the diversity of the line and the variety of the line in other stores like you will find at Target. Unfortunately, I just have to be honest. I have 8 of these. Finery retails for $30, and the fragrance mist is about 15 bucks. I've never tried the fragrance mist as well. I just go automatically for the EDPs, and this is really a cost affordable way to smell good. As we say, try out your low-end department stores and really give them a chance, right? Like Finery has a lot of options, and I know Target does carry other brands. Walmart carries a variety of brands and a lot of celebrity fragrances, which is always an option to be more affordable. So I would definitely say check out your low-end department stores. So in the same vein, shop your discounted stores. When I'm saying discounted stores, I'm talking about your Burlington, your Ross, your TJ Maxx, your Marshalls, those places that sell things for a very discounted price. Consider them. Now, each store kind of has its own vibe, so I'm going to break it up. So TJ Maxx and Marshalls kind of have their own lane. So they will have things that are in like fragrance gel. So there are some things that will be in a case. Those are typically your designer fragrances and your niche fragrances that are a bit more cost effective, but they're still going to be at a discounted price. So you're looking at somewhere between like a 25 and up range. Some examples of things that I picked up out of the fragrance gel would definitely be these 2. So this is Kate Spade New York, this is the original, and this is Kate Spade Sparkle. Bought both of these at TJ Maxx 2 different times, but I want to say they were priced at $30, and these are 1.3 fluid ounces. Another one that I also picked up was Sci-Fi by Ellis Brooklyn, and I paid, I want to say $30 for this one. So just some things to consider, that you can find fragrances that you love that are designer fragrances at a more affordable range. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, they also have like a more affordable section, so you can see some other brands. So I'm gonna highlight a few that are in my collection. So I have Away by Abercrombie and Fitch. I definitely paid no more than 20 bucks for this. Then we have Born Dreamer by Charli D'Amelio. I paid, I think, $21 for this 1.7 fluid ounce. You will definitely see a lot of this brand in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. This is Le Monde Gourmand. Now, TJ Maxx and Marshalls is the best way that you are going to find a more cost-effective version, because typically they range from somewhere between 12 to 16 bucks on average for a variety of sizes. So this is the 1 fluid ounce. This is the 0.67 fluid ounce, and then this is the jumbo, which is the 2.5. So I'm gonna hold them up so you can see the size differences. So you really just have to decide which one is going to work best. But TJ Maxx and Marshalls, when I say majority of my collection is Le Monde Gourmand, that is one of the quickest ways that I was able to build my collection. It probably, if I'm not even being dramatic, I probably would have to say it takes up like maybe at least 20, if not more, % of my collection, because this is one of the quickest ways to build. They have so much variety. Now understand, you can find them at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. That's how you're going to get that discounted price. But the brand in and of itself averages at being like $25. So you can find them at Ulta, Nordstrom Rack. And people have also said Urban Outfitters. I don't shop there, so I cannot verify, but people have said you can find them at Urban Outfitters. So it really just depends, and you can get, they have so much variety in their line. It is bananas. And then I would also like to mention To The Délice. This is a brand. I have 4 fragrances from these brands. These are EDT, so these are Eau de Toilette, so they are definitely not gonna be as long lasting, but they're $10, so I think you really can't beat these. Now I feel like this brand is primarily for the person that loves a gourmand. You like more edible type of fragrances, things that remind you of like food. So like I have a vanilla mousse, it's like a vanilla chantilly one. I have a cotton candy, strawberry, I have almond. So if you like those type of things, I know they have like I think there are like 3 or 4 additional ones. They have a line of like I think 7 or 8 in total, but this is definitely a very cost-effective brand. So do not be afraid to shop your discounted stores. Now if you're going to shop at Ross, I feel like Ross specializes more so in like celebrity fragrances, where you will see a lot of celebrity fragrances, or like older designers. So like think Elizabeth Arden, think Kenneth Cole, think DKNY. You will see a lot of those, as well as celebrity fragrances. Now, if you go over to Burlington, I feel like Burlington right now has it locked on the Middle Eastern fragrances. So if you love Middle Eastern and you're okay with shopping Middle Eastern fragrances, then Burlington, I would definitely say, is the place to go. Now, I do have to say this. The streets be talking, and what the streets be saying is you have to be careful shopping at Burlington, because if you open the fragrance and you cannot return it. Like, they won't let you return. I don't know how factual that is, but that is some of the things I'm hearing. That's the word on the street. So I'm just letting you know what the streets be saying, okay? They saying if you purchase, you cannot return. So I definitely want to say be cautious with that, because oftentimes in Burlington, they're in little lock boxes, or they have some type of like security tag on them. So you can't try to smell them. So you really just are ultimately blind buying. And so I would definitely say keep that in mind in the future. But Burlington is a great way. They have Middle Eastern fragrances. They do have some designer fragrances. You can find a lot of like more traditional retail fragrances. I've seen like Banana Republic is something that I feel like is very heavy in Burlington, and you can also find some celebrity fragrances. Now, one celebrity I do have to shout out is Ariana Grande. Baby, her fragrances be everywhere. It be at every price point. You can go to any store and you're probably going to find an Ariana Grande fragrance. So it's really just up to you, but really just figuring out what is going to be the best fit. Now, I do have to add this. I do feel the need to add this. I am a believer. This is a Christ-centered channel. Please understand. And I do know that there are some people that are anti-Middle Eastern fragrances for the fact that they may not have the same spiritual and religious beliefs as you. And so if you are convicted, do not feel the need to purchase them. However, if that is not a conviction for you, if it's not something that affects you, then I do understand that they are cost effective and they are everywhere. They really are everywhere, and that is really how a lot of people are building their fragrance collections right now. And so I would definitely say, you know, check with your Holy Ghost, check with the Lord, and kind of see where you stand on that. But I would feel like I would be remiss to not say that. So definitely keep that in mind if you are into Middle Eastern fragrances. I'm not gonna lie, I do have some in my collection, but since that, I kind of have been hesitating about buying any more. I do think that I will use up the ones I have, and I have prayed over the ones that I've had. But that's kind of where I stand. So I would definitely say check your own convictions and see where you stand. So the next tip is shop secondhand, shop pre-loved. I'm talking Plato's Closet, Uptown Cheesecake, Beacon's Closet, Style Encore, Quillo's Mentor, any store that resells like gently used clothing, pre-loved clothing. Check those stores in your area to see if they accept fragrances. Now you can find like some Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret there as well, but you can also find, depending on if their store accepts it, you can find some really good fragrances. I'm talking about Dua Brand, Killian, Seven Virtues. Like, I have seen so much, and I'm just gonna highlight some of the ones that I have picked up. So first up, we have Alt fragrances. Some of their fragrances can be found at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but I picked these up from Plato's Closet. And Bella Vita is inspired by Lancome's La Vie Est Belle. Gables is inspired by Bond No. 9's Greenwich Village, and was able to, I think I spent 15 on this one and 20 on this one, right? So granted, Alt in and of itself is a more affordable brand. They are a dupe house, and I will talk about dupes a little later in the video, but you can definitely try them out. I was also able to get my hands on Dua, and in my area I have seen a lot of Dua. I was able to pick up each bottle for $14, and Dua on average runs somewhere between $30 to $65 a bottle, depending on like what it's inspired by. And this is another dupe house brand, but they are sold primarily online, so you have to shop the website and kind of test it out and blind buy it. Ultimately, I've been able to go into a lot of my reselling stores and smell multiple, and I'm saying like some of these are, I found some that were brand new in the bottle. I've seen some of the stores price it as low as $10. Was not able to get my hands on those, unfortunately, but really brand new with the box, everything. Because what happens a lot of the time is people are blind buying. They get it, they get their hands on it, realize that they don't love it. I picked up 3, but this single time that I purchased these, they had probably somewhere between 10 to 15 Dua bottles. So somebody had literally, or multiple people had literally splurged on Dua, smelled them, and just ultimately sold all the ones they didn't like. And I was able to get them at a discounted price, smell them, try them out, and see how I feel about them to go ahead and purchase them. So I would definitely say consider your secondhand stores, because it is an opportunity to try out fragrances that you may not be able to get your hands on otherwise. And next up, I was able to pick up Santal Vanille by the Seven Virtues. This fragrance is so good, and being able to get it at a discounted price, it's really a great option. I cannot stress this enough. Shop secondhand, shop pre-loved. Now, I'm talking about in-person stores that I actually go to and I check, but you can try like your eBay, your Mercari, all of those like retail thrifting online shops. You can try those as well. Now, I just prefer in-store shopping just because I also get the opportunity to like smell it and actually see if I like it and kind of spray it on skin if I want and sit with it. But I'm like, a lot of these bottles were like brand new, probably had a couple spritz in them because somebody just tried them, realized they didn't like it, and then sold it. Didn't want to return it, or it was too late to return, and they ultimately sold it. I would definitely suggest, don't be afraid to shop secondhand. It is another way to get a heavy discount on a really, really, really good fragrance. So next up is a more controversial topic. A lot of people have a lot of takes on this and have a lot of thoughts and feelings and big feelings about this topic, and that is dupes. I believe that you have to identify where you stand. Some people are on the side of, I don't do dupes, I don't trust dupes, I don't believe in dupes, no dupes, no dupes, no dupes, only buy the real thing. Some people are only like, I'm only gonna buy dupes. I'm not gonna spend that money on a designer fragrance just because I'm paying for the name. I'll go for the dupe. Some people are in the middle. Now, if you want to know my personal thoughts and feelings, I am someone that's in the middle. Here is where I stand. I am okay with dupes. I prefer dupes that do honor and give reverence to the actual creator or the actual brand. So I do prefer dupes that say, hey, we are this fragrance, our version of this fragrance was inspired by X, Y, and Z. I do prefer that, because here's the thing. As a creative, someone who takes a lot of time to create, right now I'm creating content, I'm a poet, I'm an actress, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, like I do all of these things, right? And so the idea that I take all of this time to create all of these different things, and someone can just steal my work and won't give me credit, will make me feel some type of way. I'm not gonna lie. So I do appreciate when brands say, hey, yes, we are an alternative brand that is inspired by niche and designer fragrances, and we're gonna give credit and reverence to the original brands. I'm a bit more okay with that, and I'm okay with spending my money that way, because to me, I think about it like writing a paper, right? When you are writing a paper, if you've been in school, you've ever written a paper, you had to write an essay, you are told to cite your work, to reference your sources, to cite your work, and give credit to where you originally got that research from. I think dupes that do that, brands that dupe fragrances and give reverence to the original inspiration or the original creator, I respect that. And so I am a little bit more neutral. I think that you ultimately have to decide, but I do understand that with the way the world is going, and those of us that like to smell good and you want to smell good, being able to do that at a more cost affordable way really does come from dupes. It really is one of the best gems, if I'm going to be honest. I am going to highlight a few brands that I do have in my collection that are really dupe brands. So going back to the Dupes brand, they are a dupe brand. So like I said, I have never purchased from the actual website. I got all of these secondhand and pre-loved, so that is something to consider. Somebody else already spent the money, so I'm just giving them another life ultimately. So I would definitely say the Dupes brand, I know they have a lot of variety on their website, but I would definitely say consider shopping pre-loved and secondhand if you don't want to shop directly. Once again, we have Alt. Once again, I bought these secondhand and pre-loved, so they are another like alternative fragrance brand. It literally stands for alternative, like the idea that you can buy an alternative option to a niche and designer fragrance. So I would definitely say you can consider them because they are very affordable and cost effective. Next, I will have to mention Dossier. Dossier can be found in Walmart. Going back to shopping your low-end department stores, Walmart does carry Dossier. I got this specific bottle secondhand from Plato's, I believe. So I would definitely say consider it. They are an alternative brand. They are definitely a brand for consideration. And next up, I'm going to highlight for dupes. I'm going to highlight Mimic. Mimic is, once again, another dupe house brand. It's in the name. They are to mimic designer and niche fragrances. So they are, I believe they are Black owned, if I'm not mistaken. They can be found primarily in TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but a lot of these brands, if they're dupe houses, they also have their own websites. But I find that shopping at a discount store is really how you're going to get the more cost-effective price. So they come in two sizes. This is the 1.7 and this is the 3.4. The 1.7 typically retails for about $14 and $14.99, and then the 3.4 is for $16.99, once again at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. So I would definitely say when it comes to dupes, you have to consider where you stand on the matter, and if you're interested in spending your money in a dupe house. So the next tip is shop small, shop indie, right? So the idea of shopping a more smaller indie brand, so a brand that is smaller, they're on the upcoming, they're on the rise, shop with them. Oftentimes you can find better deals and more cost-effective ways. And if you are first time, some websites will allow like a 10, 15, maybe even 20% off for first time customers. So I would definitely say consider that. I am definitely being more intentional about shopping our smaller brands. One, because I do feel like it's one of the ways you get better ingredients, you get better products, and that is really how you push your brands to get into larger retail markets if that's their goal. Some brands don't want that, and I understand that. But if you want to see smaller brands, women-owned brands, Black-owned brands, BIPOC brands. If you really want to see these brands be represented, you have to be willing to shop with them when they are small. And so I'm going to highlight Heaven Sent by Channing. I'm not going to go too much into detail right now because I do plan to do a review on this brand in the future. But this is Heaven Sent by Channing. I have 6 of her fragrances, and I will let you know these are in the 10 mls. And these were priced at, I believe, $15 each. She has a lot of variety when it comes to what you can choose, and depending on your budget, how much you want to spend. And so I would definitely say consider that. Like I said, I will do a official review in the future, so that I would definitely say be on the lookout for that. But don't be afraid to shop these smaller indie brands, because it opens the door for them to expand and to grow. And oftentimes you are getting really, really good products for a very, very, very good affordable price. So I would definitely say consider your small indie brands. And in the same vein, I would definitely say don't be afraid to shop local. Sometimes that is how you get more bang for your buck as well. More local brands to your area. So sometimes that's local. Like I said, find your oil man or oil lady, somebody that do oils in your area. I would definitely say consider, you know, sometimes you have many local fragrance houses that you can shop with, or local perfume shops. Shopping there, sometimes you can get a better discount, or they'll have fragrances at a discounted price. So there are a lot of options to consider, but definitely don't be afraid to shop small and shop local. Really consider your area, and understanding that that can kind of be the best way you get more bang for your buck. And the next tip is don't be afraid to just shop body care. Oftentimes your body care, when I'm talking body care, I'm saying your body oils, your fragrance mist, your lotions, your body washes. Oftentimes those are going to be a lot more cost effective and cheaper and more affordable than actual fragrances, even a travel size. Like for the price of a travel size, you might even be able to buy 2 scented lotions or 2 scented body oils or what have you. So I would definitely say consider that in making your choices. The first brand that I'm going to highlight when it comes to body care is EOS. EOS has a wide variety of scent options. I'm not even holding up all the ones that I have. I have several in my collection, and they have a variety. So they have lotions, they have shave oils, they have body washes, right? You have so many options to choose from. So really just finding a really, really good scented body care lotion, body cream, something like that to kind of be your base and really build from there. And I'm also going to highlight oils. I'm an oil girl, so I'm always going to have oils somewhere in it. But instead of just the traditional perfume oils, you can also go with like body oils. So this is Mimic's brand, Mimic. I talked about their perfumes earlier, but Mimic also has like perfume oils and they have body oils. Now, personally, I prefer the body oils. Something about the consistency of the perfume oil just looks off to me. And so for some reason, I can't pull the trigger on buying them. So I buy the body oils. This was priced at $6.99. And once again, inspired by niche designer fragrances. So definitely consider that and keep that in mind. These are, I would say, fairly moisturizing. I don't typically wear them on their own. I always pair with some type of body butter, body cream, lotion, something like that. But in partnership with those, they really do perform very well. And this specific brand, the body oils stick a bit closer to the skin, so they are more skin scents. So I wouldn't say they're heavily projecting. So I would definitely say they are a really good consideration for your layering process. Also at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, you can find Sand and Fog. I'm highlighting both of them because you can find some in the dropper formulation or in the rollerball formulation. My personal preference is the dropper. I'm not gonna lie to you. I prefer the dropper. I prefer the dropper because it mixes better. I can just literally drop it into my hand, mix it with my oils, mix it with my lotions to get a bit of wear. The rollerball, you have to physically roll on, and I just prefer the dropper formulation. But once again, these can be found at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Now, these are eau de parfum oils, so they are to kind of perform more like a perfume oil, so they're going to give you a little bit more projection than a traditional body oil. So I would definitely say you can consider these in your collection. Once again, found at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. You can find some at different price points, like you can find some at Sephora and Ulta by different brands, but these are definitely the ones that I can like vouch for because I have quite a few in my collection. So I would definitely I would definitely suggest like Scent and Fog as an option. Next up, we have Ancient Cosmetics. I will also plan to talk about them in the near future as well. This is a Black-owned, family-owned business. They are a more small indie brand, but they do scented body care products. So I primarily only have the oils right now in my collection, but I know they do body butters, body scrubs, they do soaps, body washes, lotions. They do a variety of products, and it's scented sometimes. I think some of them, I think they may have also some neutral options that are more like targeted body care. So I would definitely say consider them. The reason I even purchased these was because they have really good sales and continuous sales. Like these sales be lasting. So I really do feel like they are cost effective now. They only are online from my understanding. I could be wrong. I bought these online, so you do have to wait a little time to get it shipped to you, but these are definitely really, really good and a great option for layering in your body cares to really have that scent profile to make you really smell good. I would definitely say these are stronger than the Mimic body oils, but they were right under, I would say they're right under the Brown Sugar Babe body oil. So I would say they're somewhere in that middle. They're very fragrant, but I wouldn't say they're heavily perfumed and that they would perform as a perfume. But I would definitely say Ancient Cosmetics is really, really good. And since I mentioned Brown Sugar Babe, I feel like I have to mention them in this video. Now, I was hesitant about mentioning them because they are luxury, so they are a bit more pricier. But if you are willing, you can find things that are under that $30 price point in their collection, but you definitely have to be willing to start small and make it stretch. Now, these are perfume body oils, so they are designed and created to perform as a perfume would. So you can wear these by themselves and not have to layer anything else with them. And like I said, you can find a few things, several things on their website that are under that $30 price point. Some things as low as like $10, $15, $20 on their website. So it really just depends. You're gonna have to do some searching depending on what your budget is, but I would definitely say Brown Sugar Babe is a consideration. This is Black-owned, women-owned fragrance. They specialize in like luxury oils, primarily perfume, body oils, and things of that sort. Now the body oils are going to be more, if you want more of a affordable option, stay in the body oil lane. Don't go in that perfume oil lane, because that perfume oil lane is where the price is going to increase. So if you want for something more affordable, definitely go with the body oils. And these is the 2-ounce bottle, so I would definitely say probably opt for the smaller bottle at a lower price point in a fragrance profile that you are comfortable with, but that still fits your budget. So I definitely wanted to throw them in as a consideration. The last tip is gifts. Use your friends and loved ones, baby. Utilize your loved ones, utilize your village. If you know that your friends, your family, your loved ones will ask you things like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? Tell them fragrances. Tell them fragrances. I'm being honest. A lot of my designer fragrances, the full bottles that I have, majority of them were purchased as gifts, right? Somebody bought them. They were bought for my birthday. They were bought for Christmas, because people know that are connected to me. My peeps know I love fragrances. So typically that's when they'll go out and they'll buy. You can also ask for like a gift card or something to like a Sephora, to a Macy's, to a Dillard's, what have you, to be able to purchase those things on your own, right? Now, this is what my people do, and I'm gonna be honest. I keep a list. I keep a running wish list. And typically I know I'm going to get something, because I'll get the question about like, what's on your wish list? Do you still want X, Y, and Z? Are you still eyeing X, Y, and Z? Did you ever get X, Y, and Z? Right? They'll ask questions. I know something's on the way, but at the end of the day, it's still a surprise, because on my wish list is so long that it's really up to the person to pick what's in their budget. What do they want to get me in? What do they want to smell me in? And then it's still a surprise when I get it. Like, oh, this the one you chose from the wish list. Okay, cool. Fun surprise. So I would definitely say don't be afraid to get them as gifts, especially if you know your loved ones ask, what do you want? Christmas is coming up. What you want? Your birthday is coming up. Anniversary. Whatever the special occasion is. You know something coming up and they want to get you something and they're asking, what can I get you? There you go. If you are the loved one to a fragrance head, somebody that loves fragrances, somebody that loves to smell good, that's a tip for you. If you're the one shopping, hey, what kind of fragrances do they love? If they have travel sizes, pay attention to the ones that they reach from, the ones that have the biggest dent. What is your favorite perfume? What's on your wish list? Don't be afraid to ask these questions to your people to buy gifts. I think gifts are definitely one of the best ways, or like a gift card, or give them the money. I ain't gonna lie. I like money. I like the cash too. Give them the money and allow them to do with it as they please. But gifts are definitely another way to build your collection. So if you have loved ones that want to buy you something, baby, and they're asking, what can we get you? And you are stuck, fragrances at any price point. And ultimately, if you give them a list, they can identify whether or not that does or does not fit within their budget. And if they get it for you, then you don't got to spend that money on it. I'm just being honest. It's a good consideration. I would definitely say to consider it and to always think about it. If you know that there are things that you have on your wish list, things you want to try out, suggest it as a gift. Leave hints, tell people if they ask questions, give them direct, like send them the list, share the list with them, and let them know, like, this is what I have my eye on, this is what I want to try, these are some things I'm considering and I want to add to my collection, but I can't do it right now because it just does not fit for me financially. Sometimes, like, even if it does not fit for one member, maybe they'll connect with somebody else in the group and they'll come together, put their money together, and get you something nice. It really just depends, but I would definitely say consider it as an option. So I hope that this video was not too long, and if you did stay to the end, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I hope that if you are looking to build your fragrance collection, I hope this video was definitely some help. So how you can be frugally fragrant, so you can be smelling good, balling on a budget. Okay, we need our coins. Inflation is crazy. The price of eggs is through the roof. Okay, and let's not even talk about gas prices and rent. It's a lot. So I understand if you are just struggling and you're trying to figure it out and you want to smell good but you don't know how. I hope that this video was able to give you some inspiration and some guidance on how to navigate being frugally fragrant. But that is it for today's video. I hope to see you back here next time for another upload. But until then, remember that I love you. God loves you. So remember to always, and do you mean always, love you too. Smooches, Lovebug.